What's up, you guys? Welcome back to my channel, and in today's video I'm going to talk to you guys about why I quit my job. So I have been a full-time entrepreneur since the beginning of 2023. It is now 2026, so that's a little bit over 3 years now. A lot of you guys know that I used to work at a mobile phone store. I'm not going to say the name of that company just because I don't want to give them any shout out in this video or whatever, but I used to work for a mobile phone company right here in St. Petersburg. It was a very small company, and I worked there for about 7 or 8 years. So while working there, I used to sell phones. I was the only person working in there. After a couple years, when I first started, there was maybe 1 or 2 other people there, but for the most part, like 80% of the time, I was there by myself. Like literally by myself. So I was there from like 10 o'clock in the morning to 8 o'clock at night, just selling phones, creating ads online, selling phones to people when they came in, selling accessories, selling like phone cases, speakers, and things of that nature. So that was my first introduction to like running a store or just running a business by myself. So I did have a manager. I mean, he was pretty cool. He's a pretty cool person in the beginning, but as time went on, I could kind of start to see his like true colors start to show. So what made me enjoy working there was I enjoyed the flexibility and the freedom. So at first when I started, I was working there full time. And then as I had my daughter, and a little bit later throughout the years, I started working a little bit more part-time just because I needed a little bit more time to take care of her and do things in my own personal life. So while I was working there, like I said, for the most part, I was there by myself. So what I would do was I would bring my laptop to work with me and work on client videos and branding and things for myself while I was there at my job. So was that the right thing to do? Probably not, but I was there most of the time, like I said, by myself. So I had a lot of open free time. So I would promote and make posts and things for the business, so people would come in and make purchases. And then also when they were coming in, I'm telling them about my business as well. So at that time, I was already kind of like getting clients. I wasn't super busy, like I wasn't as busy as I am now, but I was still getting clients. So what I would do is while I'm there on the job, I'm working on my edits, I'm calling clients back. Like I said, I had a lot of free time while working there. And there were times where when I was at work, I would get a phone call and somebody would say, hey, can you come and do a shoot for me while I was at work? Now in my brain, I was not making a lot of money working there, and that's a whole nother story. Like I feel like he was starting to take some of my commission away from me, or just pocketing the commission for himself, because I sold a lot of phones there, y'all. I sold a lot of accessories, I sold a lot of phones, and I feel like for the amount that I sold, I should have been making way more than what I was at the time. So at the time, I think I was making, like, when I first started and I was working 5 days a week, I believe I was making like anywhere between $900 to $1,100 every 2 weeks or something like that. Now this was back in like I said, 2015, 2016. So at that time, that was a lot of money for me. Over time, when I started dwindling down on my hours, because like I said, I had other things to do, I noticed my checks were starting to be like $500 to $600 every 2 weeks. And I was like, this is not a lot. And I'm working what I felt like was a lot, and I was selling a lot. So when I questioned my manager at the time about it, he said, oh, don't worry about it. That's just something that they're doing. They took out the commission. And me being me, I know how people are, but I needed my job at the time, so I just kind of rolled with it. But over time, like I said, I started noticing that I wasn't making the money that I felt like I deserved to be making. That was the bottom line. So while I was there, I took advantage of my time. I was editing videos while I was there. I was leaving my job to go and do shoots for people, which also was not a right thing to do. But I'm sitting here thinking to myself, I'm making $500 or $600 every 2 weeks, and I have a client calling me to come and make $300, $400, $500, $600 in a couple of hours. So over time, it just started to not make sense for me to be there. Now, my last straw was when I got fed up. Like, it just seemed like every customer that was coming in was like giving me a hard time. My manager was giving me a hard time. It just seemed like everything was like coming at me one by one, by one, by one, by one. And I don't know, like just for like a month straight, there were just things happening that I just couldn't explain. I'm like, why is this person being like this to me? Why is my manager talking to me like this? Why is this happening? Why is this happening? And I think my manager had said something to me, like I don't remember exactly what he said, but it just upset me so bad because I felt like I'm running your business and I'm doing a lot for your business. I'm taking a lot of time out of my day to run your business so you can be home with your kids and your family and stuff. And I'm not complaining about any of that, but it was just like, I don't feel like I was getting the respect that I deserve from that company or my boss or my manager or whatever. I don't feel like I was appreciated for what I was doing and what I was, what I was doing on the job at the time. And I just really felt like I could do better. Like I could do more. I could do better than this. So the last month that I was there, I remember it was like early January, and I was just like, I don't want to do this anymore. Like I cannot go into this place anymore. And when I finally just quit, I didn't even go in. I just texted my manager and I was like, hey, I'm not going to come in today because I'm not making enough and I got to find something else. And I felt so good to say that to him. And he didn't even reply. He didn't text back or anything. He didn't say anything. But shortly after, the business actually closed down, and this is not because I quit or anything like that. The business was actually getting ready to close anyway. So I was going to have to leave or, I was going to have to jump ship anyways. So it didn't really matter if I left at that time, if I left earlier, but I basically stayed as long as I possibly felt like I could. And I feel like I put my all into that place. So that was an experience for me. It was a journey for me. I have not worked a job since then. At that time, I was a key holder / assistant manager / whatever you want to call it, shift manager. So I was opening up the store, counting the registers, doing inventory, ordering things, so on and so forth. The same things that a head manager would do. So I was pretty much putting myself in position to run a business already. So when I left, I felt like a weight was lifted off of my shoulders. Like I just felt like, oh my God, I have not had a job since I started working. And I just felt so good. And it just seemed like after that, it just seemed like opportunities just started to come and started to come and started to come. And people were recommending me more. I was starting to travel more. I was starting to make the money that I felt like I should be making. And it really opened my eyes to believing in yourself and putting yourself out there so you can make money. You can't be scared. You can't think that, something is just going to happen for you. You actually have to put in the action, and you have to trust yourself. You have to trust in God. You have to trust and believe that you are going to be able to do what you need to do. You have to listen to God's voice, because I can only imagine if I stayed there, what type of position I would be in, or how I would be feeling, or if I would be in the same position that I'm in now. So when I think about working there or just being in that space in general, I'm thankful for the opportunity, and I'm thankful that I had the knowledge to do what I was able to do at that job. I appreciate all the people that I got to meet. I appreciate all of the things that I got to learn. But if I had to go back and do that, would I do it all over again? Probably, because it gave me a lot of time to work on things that I need to work on. So with that being said, that is why I quit my job, because I just got tired of being treated poorly poorly from a company that I was putting my all into and just doing things that I feel like I should not have been doing or should have been doing for myself. I feel like if I could put that amount of time and energy into somebody else's job, I should be able to put that same time and energy into myself. And that's what I've been doing. So I created my own website. I've created my own business cards. I've created my own marketing materials, and I've created my own lane, so I found something that works for me. I started doing things that worked for me. I can't speak for everybody else, but I started doing things that work for me, and it's just been up ever since. So I have actually made more money working for myself than I have ever made at any job that I've ever worked at. Literally. So with even that being said, it just lets me know that no matter what, I can do it. I'm capable of doing this. I'm not, there's nobody out here that's smarter than you or doing more than you. You just don't know yet. You just don't have the knowledge yet. So believe in yourself. You can do it. You have all of the tools. You can gain the knowledge to do whatever it is that you put your mind to. Okay? If you guys found this video helpful, make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys want to hear next from me. And I will see y'all in the next video.